Hello, students of class 8. Today we shall study history. First chapter is when, where, and how. It means that we shall study the modern period of India. You know that modern period means when the British came to India. They controlled India. They started to rule from 18th century and we have succeeded in fleeing him away from India on 15th August 1947. So, we shall study modern period of India. You know that in class 6 you have studied ancient India. Ancient India is from earliest times. Earliest times means Indus Valley civilization to 7th century when Arabs invaded on India. It means that ancient India we study from Indus Valley civilization to 7th century, and medieval period, medieval India, as you have studied in class 7, it is from 8th century to 18th century when Aurangzeb died in 1707. Then Mughal Empire became very weak and the British slowly captured India. So you see that modern period, 18th century, it was influenced by the British. They started controlling India from Battle of Plassey in 1757. So we will read in this chapter modern period in Europe. First modern period started in Europe. Then from Europe it came to the whole world. You know that Industrial Revolution started first in England. Then it went to the whole of world. So Industrial Revolution means you know that the goods which were earlier made in house, now they were made in factories. It means that the change from handmade goods to factory made goods is called Industrial Revolution. Understand it? When the handmade goods are replaced by factory made goods is called Industrial Revolution. So Industrial Revolution is the feature of modern period. It came first in England, then it went to India and other countries of the world, and with that capitalism means Punjibad. Capitalism started in the world. Capitalism created two classes in the society. First, capitalist, Punjipati worg. Second, workers, Mazdoor worg. Capitalist means who are controlling our society, nation, like you see that in India many capitalists like Mukesh Ambani, they are capitalists. Although our country is democratic, in other country he may control the nation, but our country is democratic, no can control, only people of India can control. Next is inventions. There were many inventions in England. You know that a spinning jenny invented by Hargreaves Greaves, and this changed the cotton textile industry, and this brought about Industrial Revolution. You see that trade started in modern period. Vasco da Gama came to India in 1498. After that his government came to India and captured Goa, Daman, Diu. So the whole world was characterized by the voyages. Magellan, you know, He was the first person who around the whole world moved, and he explained that the earth is round. So you see that many voyages, you see many inventions in the world. These are the features of modern period. Now, what is the modern period in India? I have earlier told you that modern period in India started from coming of the British. The British controlled India from Battle of Plassey, then Battle of Buxar, then they slowly captured the whole of India. When we shall defeat them 15th August 1407, then the British went to their homeland and relieving us. Now you will study that what are the sources of modern period. There are two sources of modern period: primary source materials, secondary source materials. Primary source material included archaeological sources. Archaeological sources means you see in Delhi the India Gate, Rashtrapati Bhavan, Parliament House. These are the buildings were constructed by the British. They are the sources of India to study the modern period. And second, you see that the British were interested in keeping records. They kept record rooms for every administrative works. They kept records. So these are the sources of modern history. You see that the British started census. Census means counting of population. It also helps in knowing the modern history of India. And the British kept, as I have told you, many records for administrative works. So these are the sources of Indian history. They are abundantly, it means that they are found many more. So there are no lack of sources in modern history. We have lots of sources for reading, studying modern history, but we are lacking for sources in ancient history and medieval history. Thank you. Next day we shall study next chapter.